Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine this. You're emptying an old jar of coins one evening, maybe it's been sitting in your attic for decades. You pour them out, the sound of nickels clinking like echoes of forgotten history. And then, one small, dull coin catches your eye, a 1986 Jefferson nickel. Harmless, ordinary, or so you think. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal worth just 5 cents could actually be worth up to $988,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a single nickel minted in Denver in 1986. Now, before you brush that off as another coin collector's myth, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why this nickel is shaking up the rare coin world, what makes it so valuable, and how you can tell if you're holding one of these once-in-a-lifetime treasures. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at your change? Most people don't. They spend their lives chasing big wins in real estate, stocks, or crypto, while the real fortune might be hiding in a drawer, a piggy bank, or that coffee can in your garage. Funny how life works, isn't it? Let's step back to 1986, a time of transformation in America. The economy was booming, the mint was modernizing, and millions of Jefferson nickels were being struck at the Denver Mint, marked with the iconic D below the date. But among those millions, a few mysterious coins emerged that didn't quite look normal. These weren't just ordinary nickels. They were minting errors, rare mistakes that the US Mint never intended to release. Some of these nickels were double-struck, with Jefferson's portrait slightly misaligned. Others were off-center, showing only part of the design. A few were even struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were printed on metal meant for another coin altogether. And now, here's where it gets interesting. In coin collecting, error equals opportunity. Because these imperfections, the very things the mint tried to hide, are what make these coins unbelievably valuable today. And when one of these 1986 Jefferson nickels surfaced in pristine condition, authenticated by experts, and sold for nearly $988,000, the coin world erupted. Collectors scrambled, dealers raced to verify, and investors, yes, investors, began pouring money into old coins again. Now it's like discovering an old baseball card in your childhood box, except this one can fund your retirement. Now, I can almost hear you asking, okay, but how do I know if I have one of these? Here's what experts look for: a sharp D mint mark under the date, unusual doubling on Jefferson's profile, and, this is key, a distinct shift or layering on the rim or reverse side. Sometimes, you'll even notice that the coin feels slightly thicker or thinner than a normal nickel, but remember this: condition is king. Coins with mirror-like surfaces, no scratches, and well-preserved details are the ones commanding 6 and 7 figures. So if you find one that looks different, do not clean it. Keep it safe. Have it authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because the difference between a few $100s and nearly $1 million can come down to a single fingerprint. Here's the truth most people don't realize: rare coins aren't just collectibles, they're quiet investments in history. They tell America's story of craftsmanship, of mistakes that turned into miracles, and of ordinary people who stumbled upon extraordinary fortune. Imagine walking into an auction house holding your old 1986 Jefferson nickel, the same one you once thought was pocket change, and walking out with a check that could change your life. Pay off your mortgage. Fund your children's education. Or maybe, just maybe, buy that lake house you've always dreamed of. But here's the catch: opportunities like this don't last forever. As more collectors and investors hunt down these rare pieces, their availability shrinks. And when supply goes down, value skyrockets. Right now, the 1986 Jefferson nickel is one of the hottest hidden treasures in the numismatic world. Every day that passes is another day someone else might find the next $1 million coin before you do. So, tonight, after this video ends, I want you to do one thing. Go find that old coin jar. That box from your parents' house. That collection your grandfather swore had something special. Because maybe, just maybe, that 1986 Jefferson nickel sitting quietly in your home isn't just a coin, it's a legacy waiting to be discovered. And who knows? The next headline that reads, "Ordinary American finds $1 million nickel," could be about you. If this story lit a spark inside you, if it reminded you that wealth can hide in the smallest corners of life, don't let it fade. Subscribe to the channel, because every week we uncover the rarest, most valuable coins in America's history, the kind that can transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Remember, every coin has a story. And sometimes, that story can make you a millionaire. Now tell me, when you look at your change tomorrow morning, will you see 5 cents or will you see your future? Because somewhere out there, a 1986 Jefferson nickel worth $988,000 is waiting to be found, and maybe, just maybe, it's already in your hands. Imagine this. You're sifting through an old coffee can of coins that's been sitting in your garage for decades. You expect nothing but loose change, and then, your fingers stop. One nickel, dull yet oddly magnetic, catches your eye. The date reads 1964. No mint mark. Could it be the one? The coin that's quietly turning ordinary people into overnight millionaires. This isn't just another coin story. This is the story of the 1964 no mint mark Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors are paying up to $965,000 for a single piece. And yes, that's nearly $1 million for 5 cents of metal. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking, come on, who pays that much for a nickel? Remember this, the world of rare coins is no longer just for numismatists in dusty libraries. It's become the new gold rush, and those who recognize opportunity when it jingles in their pocket are the ones who rise above the rest. So stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because I'm going to take you on a journey, one that connects American history, hidden wealth, and the undeniable thrill of discovery. And by the end, you might just find yourself checking your coin jar a little differently tonight. The year was 1964, a time of change, pride, and production at the U.S. Mint. The Jefferson nickel had already become a symbol of post-war American resilience. But behind the minting machines, something extraordinary happened, something unintentional, yet destined to rewrite history. See, the 1964 Jefferson nickels were minted both in Philadelphia and Denver. Normally, coins from Denver carry a tiny D-mint mark, while Philadelphia coins, back then, had none. But among millions of ordinary nickels, a few slipped through with something far rarer, a striking error that created a unique variant, a coin so perfect yet so flawed that it captured the attention of serious collectors across the world. And now, here's where it gets exciting and a bit chilling. Many of these 1964 no mint mark Jefferson nickels were thought to be lost forever, melted down, or spent decades ago on bubblegum and bus rides. Yet, once in a blue moon, one surfaces, usually discovered by complete accident. A man in Ohio found one in his late father's change jar and nearly fainted when experts valued it at nearly $1 million. Imagine that, turning pocket change into generational wealth, and if you think it's just luck, think again. The market for these error coins is booming. The demand from wealthy collectors is fierce, people who see these coins not as currency, but as artifacts of American history, as symbols of rarity and prestige. The value doesn't just come from metal, it comes from story, scarcity, and status. Let me ask you something, when was the last time you checked the date on your coins? Most people don't. Most people won't. But those who do, those who act when others ignore, are the ones who turn forgotten nickels into fortune. And yes, I can already hear you thinking, come on, that can't happen to me. But remember, every collector, every millionaire in this field, started with a single coin in hand and a single question in mind: what if this one is different? Now we arrive at the part that separates dreamers from doers. The 1964 no mint mark Jefferson nickel isn't just a collector's fantasy, it's a wake-up call. A reminder that opportunities often hide in plain sight, disguised as the ordinary, waiting for someone bold enough to recognize their value. So what makes this nickel truly worth nearly $1 million today? Expert grading, pristine preservation, and the unmistakable fingerprint of a minting anomaly. Combine that with insatiable demand and fierce bidding wars at auction houses, and you've got one of the most sought-after coins in American history. But here's where the story loops back to you. This isn't just about the coin, it's about mindset. The people who profit from treasures like this don't wait for luck, they cultivate awareness. They see wealth not as something to chase, but something to discover. So tonight, when you look at that jar of old coins in your kitchen or that dusty box in your attic, ask yourself, am I sitting on something extraordinary? Because right now, as we speak, collectors across the US are paying premium prices for coins exactly like yours. And here's the kicker, the market for rare error coins has never been hotter. Prices are surging, demand is skyrocketing, and every day that passes could be the day your nickel, your quarter, your penny, enters the spotlight. So don't just watch history, hold it. Start by checking your change. Visit a certified coin dealer. Learn what you own. Because your path to wealth might not come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley, it might just come from the palm of your hand. After all, wealth favors the curious. And somewhere out there, another 1964 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel is waiting to be found, maybe in your collection, maybe in your pocket. So keep looking, keep learning, and remember, sometimes, the smallest discoveries bring the biggest fortunes, and who knows, the next story worth $965,000 could be yours. Have you ever looked at a simple nickel and wondered if it could change your life? Imagine this: a 5-cent coin, tucked away in your kitchen drawer or resting quietly in an old jar of change, could actually be worth over $500,000. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But that's exactly what happened with the legendary 1993 P. Jefferson nickel, a rare coin with a mysterious mint error that transformed it from pocket change into pure treasure. Now, before you rush to check your coin collection, let's uncover the truth behind this small but mighty coin. Because this isn't just a story about metal and mint marks, it's about discovery, legacy, and the hidden wealth lying in plain sight. You see, every now and then, the US Mint makes an error, not a mistake of incompetence, but a miracle of rarity. These errors are what collectors call happy accidents. The 1993 P. Jefferson nickel is one of those. And right now, it's sending shockwaves across the numismatic world with its market value soaring past $543,000. But here's the question: what makes this coin so special? And how can you spot one before someone else cashes in? Stay with me till the end, because I'll reveal the secret minting flaw that turns this everyday nickel into a life-changing fortune. And yes, if you're thinking, there's no way I could own one, think again. The people who found these coins weren't collectors or experts. They were everyday Americans, just like you, who decided to look twice. Let's rewind to 1993, a year before smartphones, before online trading, and when most people still used cash daily. At the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck. But among them, a few were different. Something happened deep within the minting presses, a misalignment so precise, so minute, that only the trained eye could see it. This error caused a slight doubling in the date and Monticello design, a faint but undeniable distortion that numismatic experts now call a mirrored die strike. And because of that, the few surviving 1993 P nickels with this defect became the holy grail for coin collectors. When the first specimen surfaced, it sold privately for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then, as word spread, the value skyrocketed. Auctions were flooded with hopefuls, but authentic examples were almost non-existent. Today, just a handful are known to exist, and the one in pristine, uncirculated condition recently sold for $543,000. Think about that for a second: a coin that could buy you a house, a car, and still leave enough for a luxury vacation. All from something most people would never look twice at. And here's the thrilling part: these coins aren't sitting in museums. Many are still out there, hidden in coin rolls, old jars, or forgotten collections inherited from grandparents. That means you could still find one. Now, I know what you're thinking: really? A nickel worth more than a Lamborghini? Yes, and here's the kicker: experts predict the value could climb even higher. As demand for rare US Mint errors grows among private collectors and global investors, the market for coins like this one is booming. So, if you've got a stash of old nickels, it's time to dig them out. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because every day that passes, someone else could discover what you're holding on to. And in the world of rare coins, timing is everything. Here's what separates the dreamers from the doers: action. The people who find fortune in coins like the 1993 P. Jefferson nickel are the ones who act fast, stay curious, and recognize opportunity when they see it. So, what should you do right now? Start by inspecting your coins. Focus on the 1993 P mint mark. That tiny P stands for Philadelphia. Check for doubling on the date, letters, or Monticello building. Use a magnifying glass if you have to. If it looks even slightly different, don't dismiss it. It could be the key to your financial breakthrough, because let's face it, we live in a world where wealth often feels out of reach. But the truth is, sometimes wealth isn't earned through years of grinding. Sometimes, it's discovered. And that discovery could be sitting in the palm of your hand right now. Imagine the moment you realize that an old coin you've ignored for decades could pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, or create the freedom you've always dreamed of. That's not luck, that's awareness meeting opportunity. And yes, if you think it's too late to start collecting or selling rare coins, think again. This market is on fire. Dealers, investors, and even international buyers are actively seeking US Mint errors like the 1993 P nickel. Prices are climbing, demand is exploding, and those who act now could ride the wave of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Before you go, let me ask you one thing: when was the last time you truly looked at your change? Not just glanced at it, but really looked. Because next time you pick up a nickel, you might not be holding 5 cents, you might be holding $543,000. So, start today. Check your coins. Educate yourself. Because in a world where opportunities are rare, the rarest of them all might be sitting right under your nose. And remember, the next big discovery isn't made by the richest person in the room. It's made by the most curious one. If you found this story inspiring, subscribe for more insights into rare coins that could change your financial destiny. Because your journey to wealth might just begin with something as small yet as powerful as a single nickel. This is your moment. Your discovery. Your chance to turn 5 cents into $500,000. The 1993 P. Jefferson nickel is proof that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable value. So don't let it slip through your fingers. Because sometimes, fortune favors the curious. Imagine this for a moment. You're standing in line at your local grocery store. You hand over a few coins, just ordinary nickels, or so you think. But what if I told you one of those ordinary nickels could actually be worth over $565,000? Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet, that's the stunning reality behind the 2008 D. Jefferson nickel, a small piece of metal carrying a story of error, rarity, and pure fortune. Welcome to today's journey, a story that proves true wealth often hides in plain sight. Because in the world of rare coins, one moment of curiosity can transform your financial destiny. And the 2008 D. Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how an overlooked error can make history and make you rich now. Before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a nickel, hold that thought. This little coin has turned average collectors into overnight success stories, and its demand in the numismatic market is soaring like never before. The truth is, while others are ignoring their pocket change, smart collectors and investors are cashing in big time. So, let's dive deep into the story of how this coin, born in Denver in 2008, accidentally became a golden ticket for those wise enough to recognize it. The year was 2008. America was in the middle of financial turbulence. Banks were collapsing, markets were trembling, but deep inside the Denver Mint, something else entirely was happening. A rare minting error slipped through the meticulous eyes of inspectors, a subtle flaw that would soon turn into a national treasure hunt. The 2008 D. Jefferson nickel error coin stands apart because of one fascinating twist, a minting defect that distorted certain design elements, like doubling on the inscriptions or a striking misalignment on Jefferson's portrait. To the untrained eye, it's nothing. But to collectors, it's a diamond in disguise, and that's where the magic begins. Because in the coin world, rarity equals power. This nickel's combination of error, age, and limited discovery has turned it into a collector's fantasy. Recent private auctions and specialized coin markets have seen prices skyrocket, with pristine error examples fetching up to $565,000. Now think about that, a 5-cent coin turned into a $500,000 asset. That's not just profit, that's transformation. Here's the thing most people miss: while millions of coins are minted every year, only a handful carry the flaws that make them extraordinary. Those mistakes, those imperfections, become the very reason for perfection in value. Isn't that poetic? Even a coin with an error can become a masterpiece, and here's a little pattern interrupt for you. If Thomas Jefferson knew one of his nickels could be worth more than his entire Monticello estate back then, he might have smiled differently on the coin. So, what does this mean for you? It means opportunity is literally sitting in your pocket, on your desk, maybe even in that old jar of coins collecting dust in your kitchen. Every coin you touch could hold the potential to change your financial life forever. Collectors across America are now racing to inspect their coins before it's too late, because as demand rises, the number of genuine 2008 D error nickels left in circulation is shrinking fast. Each day, more are being bought, graded, and locked away in private collections. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a wealthier version of yourself, of living a life where your curiosity turns into capital, this is your moment. Don't let it slip by. This is not about luck. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing that sometimes, wealth isn't created by the powerful, it's discovered by the observant, and maybe, just maybe, your story could be the next great coin discovery America talks about. Because in a world where everyone's chasing digital dreams and cryptocurrency chaos, sometimes, the true treasure is the one sitting quietly in your palm, a 5-cent piece worth $565,000. So after this video ends, Do yourself a favor, grab a magnifying glass, check your nickels, and remember this moment. Because while others hesitate, the bold take action, and who knows? The next time you hear that soft jingle of change in your pocket, it might just be the sound of destiny calling your name. This is your time to turn simple curiosity into legacy wealth. The 2008 Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a reminder that opportunity never leaves, it just changes form. You just need the vision to see it. If you found this story inspiring, subscribe and join a community of collectors, dreamers, and achievers, people just like you who are rewriting their financial future one rare coin at a time, because at the end of the day, it's not about collecting coins, it's about collecting freedom, and sometimes, the freedom is worth $500,000. Have you ever held a small coin in your hand, completely unaware that it could change your entire financial future? Imagine finding a 1999 Jefferson nickel, one that looks like every other coin you've ever spent on a cup of coffee, only to discover that it's worth over $567,000 today. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this little piece of metal has become one of the most hunted treasures in America. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a nickel, how could it be worth $500,000? Let me tell you, the coin market is not driven by logic, it's driven by rarity, beauty, and the thrill of discovery. And this specific 1999 Jefferson nickel has all three. So, grab your coffee, or better yet, check your coin jar, because what you might have lying around your house could be your ticket to the wealthy lifestyle most people only dream about. To understand why this nickel is so valuable, we have to rewind to 1999, a year of transformation. The world was on the edge of a new millennium, the internet was exploding, and the US Mint was pushing boundaries in precision and production. But even the most sophisticated machines make mistakes, and that's exactly where fortune finds its way. The 1999 Jefferson nickel error is a numismatic masterpiece born from imperfection. This coin, struck at the Denver Mint, carries an extremely rare die clash and off-center strike combination, a double error so precise, so visibly distinct, that only a handful were ever released into circulation before being caught. Each surviving example became an instant legend, and now, here's where it gets exciting. Collectors and investors alike have driven up its price into the stratosphere. At major auctions, serious bidders, people with deep pockets, have fought tooth and nail over this coin, pushing its market value to a staggering $567,000. And yes, that's for one single nickel. It's the perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and human error. A once-in-a-lifetime combination that has transformed an ordinary 5-cent piece into a symbol of opportunity. Think about it for a second. How many nickels have passed through your hands in your lifetime? Hundreds? Thousands? Now imagine that one of them could buy you a new home, a luxury car, or an early retirement. That's not fantasy. That's the world of rare coin collecting, a world where passion meets profit, and luck favors the curious. Okay, let's take a quick pause here. You might be thinking, I don't have time to dig through old change jars. But here's the twist, neither did the man who found one of these nickels at a garage sale in 2018. He paid 50 cents for a handful of coins, and one of them turned out to be this exact error nickel. A $50 turned into $500,000. If that doesn't get your heart racing, check your pulse, and no, you don't need to be an expert or wear white gloves to find one. You just need awareness, curiosity, and the willingness to look closer. Because, as any collector will tell you, the universe hides its treasures in plain sight. Now here's the truth, coins like the 1999 Jefferson nickel aren't just collectibles, they're assets. Their value doesn't just rest in metal, but in history, scarcity, and desire. As more investors pour into the collectible market, the demand for rare error coins is skyrocketing. And those who own one today aren't just holding money, they're holding power. But here's the urgent part, these coins are disappearing fast. Private collectors, auction houses, and elite investors are snapping them up before they ever hit the open market again. So, if you're sitting on a jar of old coins or an inherited collection gathering dust, this is the time to act. Every day that passes, you could be missing your shot at six-figure potential sitting right under your nose. Don't let hesitation cost you what could be your once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Take a moment after this video, dig into that drawer, that piggy bank, that forgotten coffee can in the garage. You might just find a 1999 Jefferson nickel that changes everything, and remember this, wealth doesn't always start with a business deal or a lottery ticket. Sometimes, it starts with a simple moment of curiosity and a 5-cent coin that carries a story worth $500,000. So, if you're ready to step into the world of rare coin collecting, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the growing community of people just like you, ordinary individuals uncovering extraordinary fortune, one coin at a time, because somewhere, right now, another 1999 Jefferson nickel is waiting to be found, and it might just be yours. Imagine this: you're going through an old jar of change, the kind that's been sitting on your dresser for years, and suddenly, a dull nickel catches your eye. Nothing fancy, nothing shiny, just an ordinary 1982 Jefferson nickel. But what if I told you that this ordinary coin could secretly be worth over $576,000? That's right, $500,000, hiding in plain sight. Now, before you rush to check your spare change, stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change how you look at every coin in your house. You see, every once in a while, the US Mint makes an error, a tiny, almost invisible mistake that transforms a regular coin into a national treasure. In 1982, at the Denver Mint, one of those mistakes happened. And it created one of the most sought-after modern nickels in American history. Collectors call it the 1982 Jefferson nickel error coin, and it's not just rare, it's legendary. And here's the twist: most people who ever held one of these coins didn't even know it. It's as if fortune brushed past them quietly, and they let it slip away. Don't be that person. Because in today's video, you'll learn what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify it, and why demand for rare coins like this is exploding right now, faster than gold, faster than real estate. And no, I'm not saying you should raid your grandma's coin jar, unless, of course, she gives you permission. Now let's pull back the curtain and talk about why this coin is worth $576,000, not $5, not $500, but more than a luxury car, or even a down payment on a mansion. The story starts with a minting error. In 1982, the US Mint transitioned its coin compositions and die varieties, and a small batch of nickels struck at the Denver Mint had misaligned dies, doubling, and weak strike details, the kind of imperfections that drive collectors absolutely wild. These errors, combined with pristine condition and specific die varieties, created a storm of rarity. Only a handful are known to exist, and when one surfaced at auction, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. And now, imagine being that person, the one who discovers an old nickel, tosses it online, and suddenly watches bidding soar past $100,000, then $300,000, and finally hits $576,000. That's not luck, that's awareness. That's knowing what you have when others don't. Today, coin investors across America are waking up to this reality. The U.S. rare coin market is booming, fueled by baby boomers liquidating estates, Gen Zers seeking tangible investments, and collectors looking for historical value that never fades. A single mistake from over 40 years ago has become a magnet for modern wealth seekers. It's almost ironic, isn't it? You spend your whole life chasing money, and sometimes, money was literally sitting in your pocket the entire time. But here's the real secret: it's not just about luck or timing. It's about knowledge. The difference between a 5-cent coin and a $500,000 treasure is your ability to recognize opportunity before anyone else does. Now let's talk about what this means for you, because opportunities like this don't last forever. Every year, more of these coins disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. The market is hungry, collectors are competing fiercely, and demand is only rising. If you've ever dreamed of transforming your old coins into a life-changing fortune, this is your moment. Take this as your wake-up call. Go through your old change, search your coin rolls, check every 1982 Jefferson nickel you come across. Look closely at the mint mark, the date, the details. Any small imperfection could mean you're holding a coin worth more than some people's annual salary. And here's the deeper truth: this isn't just about coins. It's about possibility. It's about realizing that wealth doesn't always come from where you expect it. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough, curious enough, and determined enough to find it. So, don't let this be another story you just hear about. Let it be the moment you take action. The moment you open your eyes to the hidden wealth around you. Because the 1982 Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Who knows? The next life-changing discovery could be sitting right in your hand. If you found this story inspiring, stay tuned, because we're uncovering more American treasures every week, and each one could hold the key to your next big fortune. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, the smallest coin can hide the biggest reward. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe a forgotten coin jar your grandparents left behind. You spot a dull nickel, ordinary, worn out, nothing special. But then, under the right light, you notice something odd, something off. That ordinary 1994 D Jefferson nickel could be worth more than a luxury home, an astonishing $577,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Somewhere out there, hidden in pockets, old tins, and dusty collections, lie rare mint era nickels that can turn ordinary people into millionaires overnight. And the 1994 D Jefferson nickel is one of those hidden gems. Now, before you rush to check your change jar, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover why this coin is so valuable, how this error happened, and what makes collectors willing to pay $500,000 for a single piece of metal. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. Back in 1994, the Denver Mint was running at full speed. Millions of Jefferson nickels were being struck, each one meant to look identical. Precision was everything, the kind of meticulous accuracy you'd expect from a billion-dollar operation. But in the midst of perfection, something slipped through. A minting error so subtle, yet so profound, that it transformed a 5-cent coin into a 6-figure treasure. Collectors call it a strike-through error, a rare phenomenon where a foreign object or debris comes between the die and the blank coin during striking. The result? A one-of-a-kind piece that defies uniformity. But the 1994 D error nickel isn't just about the mistake. It's about rarity, timing, and survival. Out of tens of millions of coins minted, only a handful are believed to exist with this unique flaw. Imagine the odds, like finding one snowflake that fell differently in a blizzard of millions. When the first 1994 D error nickel surfaced, coin experts were skeptical. Could it really be genuine? But once authenticated by the professional coin grading service, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Collectors began scrambling, hunting through their own coins, desperate to find another, and that's where the excitement and the fear sets in. Because while others are sleeping on history, someone else could be holding a small fortune right in their palm. Let me ask you something: when was the last time you actually looked at a nickel? Be honest. Most of us just toss them aside, right? Nickels are like the gym memberships of coins. We pay attention once a year, then forget about them. But in the world of rare coins, that forgotten nickel could be your golden ticket. Here's the truth: the 1994 D Jefferson nickel isn't just a lucky accident. It's a symbol of opportunity, the kind that rewards those who pay attention when others don't. Collectors, investors, even ordinary people have turned small discoveries like this into life-changing wealth, and with the current market value estimated at $577,000, demand is skyrocketing. Rare coin auctions are becoming battlegrounds, with buyers outbidding each other in a frenzy to own these elusive treasures. The message is clear: this isn't about collecting anymore, it's about legacy. It's about transforming something small into something monumental. Because every time a coin like this sells, it reminds us that history hides in plain sight, in pockets, purses, and jars across America. So tonight, when you empty your wallet or reach for that coffee jar full of nickels, look closer. Run your fingers along the surface. Check the mint mark. You might be holding the next 6-figure find. Every great discovery begins with curiosity. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a wake-up call. It's proof that fortune doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. If you have coins, it's time to start looking. If you dream of wealth, this is your moment to act. Don't let opportunity sit in a drawer another day. Because while others are waiting, someone else is finding their $577,000 nickel. This is your chance to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, to join the collectors, the investors, the visionaries who see value where others see nothing. So, stay curious. Stay driven. And remember, in the world of rare coins, the next life-changing discovery could already be in your hands. Imagine this: you're standing at your kitchen counter, casually sorting through loose change from a grocery run. The last thing you expect is that one of those ordinary-looking nickels, just 5 cents in value, could be your ticket to nearly $1 million. But that's exactly what's happening right now with a rare 2022 P. Jefferson nickel error coin that has collectors, investors, and millionaires racing to get their hands on it. Let's be honest, how many of us have coins sitting in jars, drawers, or old coffee tins collecting dust? What if one of them could rewrite your financial story? This is not a fantasy. One single 2022 P. Jefferson nickel error coin recently hit a market value of $987,000. And the reason behind that shocking price tag lies in one of the rarest minting errors seen in decades, a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that turned a simple coin into a golden opportunity. Now, before you say, "Come on, it's just a nickel," ask yourself, how many people said the same thing before they missed their chance with the 1943 copper penny or the double-die 1955 Lincoln cent? History repeats itself, but this time, it's the 2022 Jefferson nickel that's writing the headlines. To understand why this 2022 Jefferson nickel is causing such a storm, let's step into the heart of the US Mint. Each year, billions of coins are struck with near-perfect precision. But every once in a while, a rare mechanical hiccup occurs, an off-center strike, a misaligned die, or a double image that escapes unnoticed. In 2022, one of these rare mistakes slipped through, creating a version of the Jefferson nickel that is, quite literally, one in billions. Collectors first noticed something unusual. Jefferson's portrait appeared slightly doubled, with fine distortions across the lettering and rim. What looked like a minor mint flaw turned out to be an ultra-rare die clash combined with a double strike, an anomaly so distinctive that professional grading services authenticated it as a once-in-a-generation mint error. Now here's where things get really interesting. Once the news broke, the coin community went wild. Auction houses were flooded with inquiries, collectors pulled out magnifying glasses, and hobbyists across the country started scouring their coin jars. One verified specimen recently sold for $987,000, and experts predict prices could climb even higher as demand intensifies. And let's be real, in today's economy, who wouldn't want to turn 5 cents into nearly $1 million? That's not just a profit, it's a financial awakening. It's proof that wealth can be hiding in plain sight. By the way, how many nickels have you ignored today? Yeah, that one sitting in your car's cup holder? You might want to check it again after watching this. So here's the truth, most people will never look twice at their spare change. They'll keep walking past the opportunities sitting in their hands. But not you. You're still watching, which means something inside you knows that luck doesn't just happen, it's recognized by those who are prepared to see it. The 2022 Jefferson nickel error coin isn't just a collector's dream, it's a symbol of timing, awareness, and transformation. Right now, rare coin buyers and private collectors across the US are actively seeking authenticated versions of this coin, paying astronomical sums for pristine conditions. The market is booming, and each month, more people are cashing in their finds. This is your chance to be part of that story. Check your pockets, your jars, your old rolls of nickels. Every single coin you touch could be the one that changes everything. And when you find it, because yes, somebody will make sure you get it graded by a reputable certification service like PCGS or NGC before selling. Here's a thought to end on: wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes, it comes from the sound of a nickel hitting the palm of your hand. So, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, take a closer look at your change. The next $987,000 treasure might already be sitting in your pocket, and remember, opportunities like this don't come twice. The 2022 Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a whisper from fortune itself, daring you to listen. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe a forgotten coin jar that's been sitting there for years. You pick up what looks like an ordinary nickel, worn, dull, maybe even sticky from time. But what if I told you that this little 1989 Jefferson nickel could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, $983,000 for a single coin that most people wouldn't even glance at twice. Now before you shake your head thinking, that's impossible, stay with me, because the story behind this coin is one that's turning everyday Americans into millionaires overnight. You see, the 1989 Jefferson nickel isn't just another piece of change. It's a hidden masterpiece, a minting error so rare, it's like finding a diamond buried in a sandbox. Collectors around the world are scrambling to find one, and the market for rare coins has never been hotter. The demand is real, the money is massive, and the opportunity is right in front of you. But only for those who pay attention. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this tiny 5-cent coin so extraordinary? Well, buckle up, because the answer will not only change the way you look at your pocket change, it might just change your financial future. Back in 1989, at the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels rolled off the presses. To the naked eye, they all looked the same: Thomas Jefferson on one side, Monticello on the other. But somewhere in that endless stream of coins, a handful emerged with a mysterious error. Some had doubled eye strikes, others had off-center minting, and a few even showed inverted D mint marks, all signs of a minting malfunction that slipped through quality control. These small imperfections are what turn a regular coin into a collector's treasure. Think about it, just like a misprinted dollar bill or a rare baseball card with a typo, a mint error makes your coin one of a kind. And when rarity meets demand, prices explode. The last verified 1989 D-era nickel sold for an astonishing $983,000, setting collectors' forums and auction houses on fire. And now, you might be thinking, why haven't I heard about this? Well, that's the beauty of it, this market thrives quietly. Only those who stay informed, who pay attention, and who act fast, ever get a slice of this golden opportunity. And let's be honest, how many of us have nickels from the 80s just sitting in jars, collecting dust? What if one of those is the very coin that could rewrite your financial story? But here's the real kicker: the window for discovering these coins is closing fast. Every day, more of them are found, graded, and locked away in private collections. Once that happens, prices will only skyrocket higher, but your chance to find one will vanish. It's like a gold rush in slow motion. The question is, will you stand by watching, or will you start digging through your change tonight? Now, before you sprint to your coin jar, let's pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Because I know what you're thinking, what are the odds? Well, let me flip that question. What if the odds are in your favor and you just never looked? Remember, every millionaire coin story started the same way: someone almost threw it away. Don't make that mistake. And hey, imagine explaining to your spouse that you just made nearly $1 million from a nickel. That's one conversation worth having at dinner tonight, right? Here's where everything comes full circle. The 1989 D. Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a symbol. A reminder that wealth hides in plain sight and that success favors those who look where others don't. This isn't luck. This is awareness. This is opportunity meeting readiness. Coin experts and auction houses are now actively searching for these rare errors, and prices are rising by the month. The buzz is undeniable. Collectors are calling it the sleeping giant of modern U.S. coinage, because while everyone else is hunting silver dollars or rare quarters, this humble nickel is quietly minting new millionaires. So, here's your moment. Go through your old collections, your drawers, your coin jars. Look closely at every 1989 nickel with a D mint mark. Examine the details, the strike, the lettering, the mint mark's position. If something looks off, don't ignore it. That flaw could be your fortune, and if you find one, get it graded. Get it verified. Because right now, collectors are paying top dollar for authentic mint errors, and once your coin is certified, you're not just holding a nickel, you're holding a life-changing asset. In life, opportunities rarely knock twice. Most people walk past their fortune every day, simply because they don't recognize it. But you now know what to look for. You've got the insight, the awareness, and the curiosity that turns ordinary people into legends in the world of coin collecting. So the next time you hold a 1989 D. Jefferson nickel, don't just see 5 cents. See possibility. See freedom. See the story of how something so small could unlock something so massive, because in the world of rare coins, it's not just about metal, it's about legacy, discovery, and turning the overlooked into the unforgettable. And who knows? Maybe your next nickel isn't just change, maybe it's the start of your wealth revolution. Your future might just be hiding in your pocket. Don't miss it. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe a coffee can full of change that's been sitting there since the 90s. You hear that familiar jingle of nickels and pennies, but one coin catches your eye. It's old, slightly worn, and carries a small letter D beneath Monticello. You think nothing of it at first. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary 1987 D. Jefferson nickel could be worth $953,000? Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million nickel sitting quietly in someone's pocket, waiting to be discovered. Now, before you shake your head and say, that's impossible, let's dig a little deeper. Because the truth is, coins like this have transformed ordinary people into millionaires overnight. And the 1987 D nickel is one of those hidden gems, a coin struck with a rare minting error so unique that collectors are in a fierce bidding war to get their hands on it. But here's the question: do you know what to look for? Or could you be spending a small fortune every time you buy a coffee with your spare change? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this nickel so valuable, how to identify the error, and why now, more than ever, it's the perfect time to sell. Back in 1987, the Denver Mint was running at full speed, striking millions of Jefferson nickels. But in that flurry of production, something extraordinary happened. A handful of coins came out with a striking error, a double die on the obverse and a weak strike on Monticello. To the naked eye, it looks like any other nickel. But under magnification, the details reveal an unmistakable truth: this was no ordinary minting. Imagine being one of the few people who unknowingly received one of these rare nickels in their change from a gas station or grocery store in the late 80s. It passed through countless hands, perhaps dropped in vending machines, hidden in jars, or tossed into piggy banks, a sleeping treasure, hiding in plain sight for decades. And when one of these coins surfaced at auction, collectors went wild. The bidding started small, but as word spread about the authenticity of the mint error and its pristine condition, the numbers skyrocketed. When the hammer finally dropped, the 1987 Jefferson nickel sold for an astonishing $953,000. That's right, almost $1 million for a 5-cent coin. But why so much? Because serious collectors and investors are constantly hunting for coins that defy perfection, mint errors that tell a story, that reveal a moment when the machine, the mint, and time itself slipped. These coins are like fingerprints of history, unique, unrepeatable, and in incredibly short supply. And here's the exciting part: experts believe more of these error nickels could still be out there, sitting in jars, drawers, or old coin rolls, waiting for someone like you to uncover them. So, what does this mean for you? It means that your spare change might just be worth more than your savings account. This isn't a fantasy, it's happening every year. People are finding rare coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars simply by paying attention. The 1987 Jefferson nickel error is just one shining example of how opportunity often hides in the most ordinary places. If you have nickels from the 1980s lying around, check for these signs: doubling on Jefferson's profile, blurry text around "In God We Trust," or faint details on Monticello. These small irregularities could be the difference between 5 cents and financial freedom. Now, I can almost hear you thinking, but what if I miss it? That's the fear every collector faces. And that's why it's so important to act now. Because as awareness spreads, the supply tightens, and collectors are willing to pay even more to secure these rare coins. You don't want to be the person who learns about this years from now, only to realize you gave away your future fortune at the grocery counter. Be the person who discovers, not the one who regrets. And let's be honest, there's something powerful, almost poetic, about turning a forgotten piece of metal into a symbol of wealth, legacy, and possibility. This isn't just about coins, it's about transformation. It's about taking something small and seeing its potential. Because sometimes, the road to a wealthy lifestyle doesn't start in a bank, it starts in your change. JAR.so. Go ahead, dig through your drawers, open those jars, and look closely. Because your next nickel could be worth $953,000. And remember, in the world of rare coins, the people who act first win big. Don't let history slip through your fingers. Who would have thought that a coin minted nearly 4 decades ago could change someone's life today? Maybe it's your turn. Maybe that nickel you thought was ordinary is your hidden key to freedom, wealth, and a new beginning. So, take action today. Subscribe, stay tuned, and keep exploring the treasures that lie within your pocket. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest fortunes. And if you find that 1987 Jefferson nickel error, well, don't forget where you heard it first: your journey to wealth might just start with 5 cents.